Previously on Comics Online.
This one's for you, Morph. Ah!
Adrian, thank you so much for spending more time with us at C2E2. Take two of our interview. We had such a wonderful time yesterday, and I was so devastated when I woke up this morning and found that the audio was cutting out. So thank you. So we'll try to hit on the highlights from yesterday.
Okay.
I
don't remember a word.
Good news.
Okay.
I remember most of it.
Okay.
But we talked about a couple pivotal moments of getting to revisit Nightcrawler and expanding your time with the X-Men. But one of the pieces in particular that we talked about was the amazingly choreographed fight sequence between Wolverine and Nightcrawler as they're fighting off Bastion's minions. Could you talk about getting to experience that and see the animation come to life?
Well, I mean, I was actually in the middle of doing what we call ADR, which is where you go back and you add extra sounds or overdub whatever you've done. And so they needed the grunts of the fight sequence, so you watch it on screen to time it. And I remember watching those little bits that they wanted those sounds for and thinking, this is incredible, it looks amazing. And I said, by the way, because they're on a Zoom screen, this looks amazing. And they went, oh, you haven't seen any? And I went, no. Would you like to? And so once we finished recording all the fight sounds, they played that whole sequence to me. And it was so, I was watching this amazing scene, and this like 30 years of my life was like flashing in front of my eyes, while this beautiful thing, which was my very first animated audition, had turned into something else. And I got very emotional. I had a tear welling up in my eye, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on camera and I'm embarrassing myself with my emotionality. And I sort of look over at the Zoom screen, and both the producer and the voice director were, it was just a wonderful moment of, I was their Nightcrawler, and they've made this incredible thing from something 30 years ago, and this is a wonderful moment for everyone. And then I couldn't wait for it to come out, for people to see it, because I realized, oh no, this is something incredible.
There was another pivotal milestone moment for Nightcrawler this season, which was getting added to the opening title sequence. That was an absolute thrill for fans and for myself, but can you talk about getting to see him up on the screen with his whole individual moment?
I think I audibly screamed, and then I rewound it to see it again, and I think I posted about it. And then later at a convention, he was saying, Gambit is dead, and I said, well, Gambit may be dead, but Nightcrawler has his own title sequence. So
absolutely wonderful. We can't wait to see where his journey continues, but having him be such an important part of Genosha as well, and opening up the doors, it felt he was the right emissary, he was the right person to get that storyline kicked off.
Well, and previously you'd only seen him in these kind of more sad circumstances, when the Nightcrawler episode in the 90s, and then the Bloodlines, where he finds out that Rogue is his half-sister and Mystique is his mother. And there's all very sort of dark and emotional, but he just arrives into episode 5 with this "Meine Freunde," like all that stuff, which was super fun.
The excitement was absolutely something that came through with every performance, so absolutely thrilled. One of the other elements we talked about yesterday was the fact that it's Comics Online's 25th anniversary. And we were talking about secret origins, and I would love to hear your secret origin of how did you get into acting and voice acting in particular?
Well, I think I was really bad at sports when I was really young, but I got into these classes where I could learn how to be a mime, and so I'm never supposed to talk about having been a mime. My actor friend said, don't talk about mime. Well, I started as a mime in my teens, and then at a certain point I fell in love with British actors. I admired them so much, and I thought, I want to go be a British actor. So at the age of 20, I applied for all these drama schools in the UK, and I got into a couple of them, and I picked one, and then I spent 10 years in the UK obsessing about dialects, and it was kind of like, you know, I don't have any other skills. I can do a little plumbing because of emergencies in the house, but so I've just been really fortunate that my obsession with dialect and with performance and with, you know, trying to pour myself into different characters has, you know, over 40 years allowed me to have what is now a career. But it's always about the next thing, you know.
Well, we're so excited that Nightcrawler's journey gets to continue with X-Men 97.
Me too.
And thank you for once again lending your voice to shape his character and his experience.
Well, thanks so much.